Welcome back. We're in 1 Samuel, chapter 21. We're in verse 2. This is Simple Truth. And I just pointed out a simple truth to you last time. Are you living a life that's consistent enough that people can pull out stuff when you're not being consistent? Right? No, you always tie your left shoe first, right? It's kind of scary because when you find somebody that's paying that close attention to you, that they know like your whole habit for how you clean up after yourself or what you're doing, you should start going, oh, whoa, wait a second, right? Somebody knows me. I am that consistent, right? So the priest asked David, okay, what's going on here? Why are you by yourself, right? Here's what David says, verse 2. And David said to Ahimelech, the priest, the king had charged me with a matter and said to me, let no one know anything of the matter with which I send you with, and which I have charged you. I've made an appointment with the young men for such and such a place, right? How is this not a lie? Pause for dramatic effect. David, a man after God's own heart, how did he not just lie right here? Saul didn't send him anywhere. Saul's trying to kill him. Now, again, this is where the problem in life comes, is we know that God would never, ever call a man after his own heart someone who lies. So we look at this, instead of taking the simplicity of it, which any 5-year-old could tell you the guy lied, and we start rationalizing for David. Well, Saul's chasing after him. Well, really, Saul did send him on a special appointment by himself because he's trying to kill him. Right? Like we rationalize a whole bunch of things. I've heard whole sermons on how this isn't a lie. Right? Like people trying to figure out, because David can't lie and still be a man after God's own heart. There's where the simplicity of this is. Do you know that you can lie and still be a man after God's own heart? You got to be repentant. But you know what also? God says he knows our intention. He knows the intention of our heart. Are there times where God says, I know what your intent was right there. You're trying to save yourself rather than depend upon me. Really, this is one of the beginnings of David becoming fully dependent upon God. And he's going to learn that the hard way. We all learn that the hard way. Right? And so what happens here is David depends on his own strength, his own wisdom, his own words. Do you know why I relate to this? Because I relate to this. Because this is me all the time. Something happens and immediately you rely on your knowledge. You rely on your protection. You rely on your stuff to get you out of it. And God says, nope, I don't want you to do that. The funny part is David ran to the very place he should be running to God. Right? He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. He's in death trouble. And where does he go? He runs to the priest. He runs away, but he runs to God, really. That's the essence here. But he says to the priest, no, Saul sent me on a special mission, and the guys, my team, they're going to meet me at such and such a place at a different moment. There is no team. Nobody's meeting David. Right? Now, will they eventually come to him? Yes. You could say, oh, he's a prophet. He's a prophet. You'd have been better off here saying, God sent you on a special mission, right? God's got me on a special mission, right? Listen, here's the simple truth. You and I are just like little kids. We lied when we were little kids to try to save our bacon, right? To get out of trouble. No, Mom, I didn't steal the cookie when the crumbs are all over our face, right? No, I didn't say this to my sister. No, I didn't do this. No, I didn't do that. No. Or yes, I did it when you didn't. Did you clean your room so you can go to your cousins? Yes, I did. And then all she has to do is go upstairs and see that you didn't clean your room, right? It's important. We don't have to lie to save ourselves. It's our tendency. It's our nature. It's what we're going to do. And God says, go against that and depend upon me. No lie in the world is going to save David here. Now, here's what I'm going to suggest to you. If you know the whole story and you read a chapter or two away from here, you're going to know that this lie cost a whole bunch. David didn't go unpunished. This got published, right? David's punishment for this is really severe. super severe, actually. And you know what? Over and over in the stories of David, when he decided to sin, it cost a lot of other people their lives. He counted men and it cost their lives, right? He decided to sleep with Bathsheba and it cost lives. He didn't do what was right with his son Absalom and it cost lives. And here's another example. He didn't do what he should have done and it's going to cost some lives. Right? It is not that David got away with this. It cost him actually a whole bunch. So here's the question. Are you protecting yourself? Are you trying to figure out how to take care of yourself? Right? Because you bought somebody's bad Christianity that said God helps those who help themselves? Right? Or are you running to God but then allowing him to take care of you? What is it that you need God to take care of for you tonight? What is it that you need God to step in, take care of? And how might your stepping in to try to take care of it cost actually other people's stuff? Right? Part of the thing that holds us back in moments is that we remember that, man, if I goof this up, it might cost a whole bunch of other people's stuff. I was reminded of that last week again, and it hit me, right? Hey, Andy, if you do this, I want you to think about all the people you're going to be hurting. Man, those are stop lines. Those are stop things. Lots of people go right through the stop sign, but sometimes it stops us to go like, hey, if you make this choice, think about this. You might be still the choice you have to make, but just think about it. Do you know what's going to happen if you decide to do this? All right, think about that for a little bit. That's a happy note. And we will see you next time on Simple Truth.